Hello, my Pisces. Welcome to your monthly reading for the month of October. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Wisdom of the Tao. And this is just going to represent what the Creator wants you to know, just about the overall theme or the overall energies for the month of October. You know, basically anything the Creator wants you to know to give you a heads up for your October coming up. All right, Creator, for our Pisces, what would you like them to know about their October? Okay, like this is the one for October for you. And you've gotten space clearance. So I love that. And there is fire energy with that. And it says the appearance of this card is a serious sign that space clearance and negative energy removal are needed immediately. Environmental or personal space or both could be affected. Attend to needed cleansing to bring in positive, fresh energy. So, yeah, definitely it's like, and it's easy to accumulate negative energy these days, I know, especially if you're watching social media and news about what's going on in the world, from political to racial to war to, you know, what's going on in all the different countries, and of course disease and flooding and fires and blah 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 blah. It's all this, you know, this fear can be attached to all of that. And so this space clearance, you know, definitely involves all that external stuff. And in addition to that, of course, you have all the personal interactions and your personal experiences that are really going on in your life in front of your face. You know, all that other stuff is happening out there mostly, and then other things are happening in your personal life. So there's this beautiful transformation that happens, you know, this purifying, beautiful, and I don't see it as like red fire. I see it as this blue, heavenly fire that purifies the situations, and it helps transform your viewpoint of what is going on into something more loving, more connected to who you really are, your higher self. And, you know, it's funny, you know, negativity, I was reading the other day, and I forget exactly where, but it was talking about, you know, negative things are only those things that our ego thinks shouldn't have happened. It's not lining up with what our ego wants. So then that's negative. You know, for other people, that's a positive thing, right? So it all depends on where we're coming from in our viewpoint. And when we're able to see things from a higher viewpoint, from a higher view, we understand why things unfold the way they are, instead of from our kind of our lower human caterpillar, you know, existence, walking along the jungle floor, seeing life from this viewpoint. Things look completely different than when we transform to the butterfly side of us and we see things from a higher perspective. So I really see this transformation. It's not necessarily that things will move out of your life or change on what's happening, you know, because a lot of times what is happening is just what is happening. The story we put to it is what can transform, and I feel like that is the big thing that's happening for you in October. Next, we're going to pull a card here from this Major Arcana deck. And what I do or have been doing up to this point is I take a tarot deck and I take the Major Arcana and separate it from the four suits of the Minor Arcana. And these will represent four different parts of your life, which we'll get to, of course, in a moment. But the Major Arcana are like this card, where it represents what the Creator wants you to know about the overall month of October. Like what theme or what information does the Creator feel would be helpful for you for your October journey. So for Pisces, what else would you like them to know, Creator, about their October coming up? Okay. Oh, 2. Okay. Bonus. And we're going to put them on either side of this card. And you got the Moon. And so the Moon, this is a perfect card for you, Pisces, because you definitely connect with the Moon being a water sign, you're so about the getting into the emotions, the depths of emotions, which then connects in with the moon energy, with your intuition, and that connection to the higher realms. So this is definitely totally in place here. About that is what helps you transform and see things from a different point of view, because with the moon, you can either have no light and it's the new moon with darkness, right? Or you can have the sun shining on the moon completely and having a full moon. And so this really is all about what cycle you're at in your life, what phase you're at in your life. You're going to be able to see that things do unfold for a reason. It's that ebb and flow of life, and the understanding that there's this cycle to things, because you can plan, the moon. I mean, that's how we understand the phases of the moon, because they've always happened consistently for thousands of years, and people noticed it, right? And so when you notice that there's these certain cycles, there's certain ways of how things happen, certain ways of how people react when they're in fear. They go into fight or flight. Blood leaves the brain, and they act like they're out of their minds, because they are. They're either running scared, or they're fighting to defend because they're frightened, or we're in the place of love and unconditional love and peace and joy. And you see that fluctuation between the two. But really the connection here to the moon and to the higher realms, to your deep emotions, your unconscious, your subconscious, is an important part of your journey for the month there. Yeah. Because here's the shadow. Dun, dun, dun. So talk about the dark side. And the devil is not a bad card. It's the shadow. This is actually our ego, our side of our being and our existence that keeps us in this game. You can look at the moon, being this sphere high above us that goes around, as like the higher vibration of love, the higher vibration that we can connect to. And you can look at our shadow as, the dark side of the moon, but it's the being here on Earth, and the lower vibration of love, the conditional side. Because what the shadow does for us, it brings us this beautiful awareness. I have this vision. It's the shadow, or the devil, brings to you in obvious ways what is holding you back, what is chaining you, what is keeping you restricted and at that lower vibration. And it does it because it's a part of us, and we hired it to be our tour guide on this giant amusement park of fear that we came down to experience. And so it does its job in taking us through all the different rides and taking us to the different locations based on what we told it we wanted to experience, during this lifetime. We have this list of things, and okay, well, I'll take you to here and to here, and this is where I'm going to take you. And so, with all of our journey here in that experience of fear, it'll show us through all these experiences that come to us, what's the next thing that we can look at that can free us and connect us to the higher place, that can help transform our experience from one of extreme fear, help balance it by bringing in unconditional love, and even bringing it more towards unconditional love as we, get tired of riding the fear rides all the time. But I also look at it kind of like, I see Austin Powers and Dr. Evil, he, as he's, always about to end Austin Powers' life, he always, all the, like a lot of the spy movies, 007 and all those things, James Bond, the villain goes, well, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And it reveals its plan because it thinks that that person's about to, be ended. But then they escape and they stop the evil plot. And that's kind of what it reminds me of, a little bit of that energy of, but they're doing it for us, and they know they're doing it because ultimately our shadow has our biggest experiences in mind. It's part of us, and it's part of helping us go through the process of understanding who we are by experiencing all these things that we're not. And so this big transformation comes, as this negativity comes in. That's what the shadow is doing for us. And you'll see things like, if there's a subject to be dealt with, you'll get it from 5 different places. It'll either be your personal interactions with them, that's the spark, or you'll witness people going through the same thing. Like recently, in a matter of a couple weeks, I had someone who lost their husband, they passed away, someone whose father passed away, someone whose neighbor passed away, someone whose close friend tried to end their life, and more. There was one other situation where someone had passed away, and it's like all this happening so much out of the blue. It was like, okay, there's a message here. I'm getting some sort of message. Do I fear death, or do I feel I need to rescue people who are experiencing, loss? It's like all those things. It's like, what is being brought to you? And it's very obvious. So this is going to be a month of the negativity arising, but it's also about how you transform it, and that you can change how you feel and how you see, and the story that you're applying to it. So a good process that will happen, it'll be a life changer, because once you learn to do it, and I really feel like for majority of you learn to do that in small things. You learn how to turn the frown upside down, but especially being Pisces, you're the black fish and the white fish, and you enjoy swimming in the sunny side of the pond, but you also like diving into the deep, dark side of the pond and feel those deep emotions. And so this is not a new territory for you, but I feel like it's becoming aware of how much control you have over where you can swim in what part of the pond. So next we're going to move on to the suit of Wands. Now, Wands is the fire element, and so this normally represents like your drive, your ambitions, your I was going to say imagination, but it's like this inspiration is the word I was looking for. It's like this inspiration, the spark, this drive. But for this reading, it's also going to mean your spirit. And so we'll ask from these cards here what the Creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of October. So Creator, what do you want our amazing Pisces to know about their spiritual adventure in the month of October? Okay. And you do love your spiritual adventures as well. You got the Four of Wands. And that's a beautiful energy, because the Four of Wands is usually, it'll show like a tent and it's a celebration, but it's also a stable energy. Because, like you think of four solid legs on a table makes a very solid foundation. And so I really feel that during the month of October for this, it's really about, you just understand, and like I was talking about, you just come to this stable place with your emotions, and we'll get to the emotions here in a moment, but this is like that emotional energy, this spiritual energy, this powerful energy. You just feel like the stability that you kind of sprouts, it like springs forward like these sunflowers out of nowhere, and you feel like usually you feel I feel emotions so extreme that you feel like you're just almost, you feel unstable, right? And I know I have a Pisces moon, and I've got like 4 other planets or celestial entities in my Pisces. So I have a lot, even though my sun isn't Pisces, I feel the water, and I have 2 other water sign planets as well. So I understand, in our life, we feel so unstable because you feel everyone's emotions, and you take on all the emotions of the world, and you're like, oh my God. But this huge awareness comes during the month of October for you, and the stability of your spirit comes in, and we'll get more information on that. I really feel it's discovering the other gift that you have, or your gift of feeling people's emotions, being Pisces, and being so connected to the moon, and being, with the moods changing with the moon, and your impact from full moons and new moons, and just all of that is two-sided. One is you get to feel the emotions of everyone, but the other thing is you get to also push out emotional energy. So you can change a room, you can change the world by this beautiful energy of unconditional love and peace and joy and laughter that you can send out in the world. Because you can, if you walk into a room and you have like these fear energies, and like we talked about, all this dark or shadow fearing energy, you can bring down and snuff a room like no other. It's a villainous superpower, like the villain we were talking about, right? But you also, instead of doing that, if you are exuding a smile and happiness and laughter and love, even 1,000 times more you can impact a room than, with the darker side of that energy. And you have the ability, when I always look at the amount of energy that you can put out, like a fire hose, and that hose goes to our heart, and if it's not on, where we're shooting out that unconditional love energy out to the world, then the negative energy, those fearing energies, those darker energies seep in, and that's what comes into us. And that's why we feel the heaviness of the world, because it's coming into us instead of us turning it around and turning on that and blasting it, because nothing can come in a fire hose when it's on full blast. Anything you try to put on there goes, shoots away, because that pressure, that massive amount of energy that's coming out, nothing can get in. So that's that side, and I really feel that's the stability that comes in, because you see both sides of your ability. It's important for us to be able to sense and still feel it, which you always will, but taking on that energy, when you put out that unconditional love, that'll burst out. So if you find that you got distracted, which we all will, it's the ebb and flow of life, and we turned off the unconditional love and that's seeping in, when you feel that heaviness start to come in, just know that you have the ability to switch on, focus on unconditional love, focus on joy, laughter, and peace, and just let it push all that out, and your energy that's going out into the world helps transform that energy. And like I said, the unconditional love energy is much more powerful, but just, for an example, is like 1,000 times more powerful than the negative energy. So it goes in and dilutes the negative energy so fast and to such extent compared to the negative energy. But that is your message there. And we're also going to pull a card here from this chakra deck. See what else the Creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure. That is very powerful. And this is a huge space clearance. So you are the one that can clear space, because you have been gifted and chosen to come down as this Pisces energy. And it is the water signs take on a lot of the emotional piece, of course, because they're all water signs. So all, like Cancers and Scorpios, and you all have this, I don't say responsibility, but you've taken on that responsibility. You knew before you came down here, like, I know this is going to be rough. And if I can make it through the beginning of feeling all that horrible, we think it is horrible opposites of unconditional love, all that heavy, fear, that you'll be able to just help the planet transform from hate to love, from anger to love, from sadness to love. And it's this huge, I won't say responsibility, but a mission that you've taken on. And you knew it before you came down here. You're no wuss. That is for sure. It takes someone very brave. Nope, none of those, they said. Okay, it's this one right here. Yep. Play. Yes. Fun. I mean, when you look at dolphins, feel that happiness. They almost look like they're smiling all the time, right? It's beautiful. That's like the type of energy that we're talking about, right? Not being so serious. It's like play. And this, of course, is the heart chakra, which we just been talking about, right? So it says, you've pulled this card today as a reminder to bring more play into your world. And I even would add into the world. Life may have been getting you down of late, and the worry of your day-to-day commitments may be causing you a mountain of stress. One of the most powerful ways to release tension and worries of the world is to take some time to play and feel joy. Life can become so intense and serious, and we forget to play, which is the fundamental expression of joy of the soul. It is now time to connect with this joyful aspect of you and embrace the essence of play. When was the last time you played? You may like to take your dog to the park, go to the beach, play a game of sport with friends, whatever it is that allows you to give the gift of play to yourself. It's very important for your growth at this time to allow the energy of play to cleanse, right? Clear. And I lost my place. See what happens? So I'll repeat. It's very important for your growth at this time to allow the energy of play to cleanse your mind, your body, and your spirit. It is a natural state to play and have fun. Playfulness is a powerful medicine for the soul and brings about a deep release, healing stale energies and worries. Play brings about a deep connection to the joy of the cosmos. Bring more play into your life today so you can feel the joy of the cosmos flowing through your soul and into your world. Can't make this up. Affirmation for this card. I play joyfully in the magic of the universe, and I am free to be me. Beautiful. Yes, and yes. Play. That's totally what I'm talking about. Transforming from so serious to play, fun, enjoyment, right? Transforming that energy of so much seriousness into love, joy, and peace, right? Love it. Next, we're going to move into the Pentacles. And this is the earth element. And so this is going to represent your physical world. So all those characters that are on the stage with you, all the props, all the job, the abundance, your money, your things you own, your physical body, all the physical world stuff. What's going on in the actual physicalness of your life. So this will be what the Creator wants you to know about the physical adventure in the month of October. Hey, Creator, what do you want our Pisces to know? There we go. Yep, and this is Movement of Pentacles, and this is normally like the Knight of Pentacles in a regular deck. And you can see this is just about going along. The other nights in the in these minor arcana are all about action, move, 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 go, 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 fast, fast, fast. But this is the only one that is more the dear, 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 taking your time, walking along, enjoying the moments, allowing things to grow, not freaking out. It's this patient, beautiful wandering on your path, not this go, 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 go. So out of all the nights, this one would most fit in to this, what we're talking about. Not stressing about life, not stressing about things, not worried about so much action, but about focusing in on enjoying this moment right here, right now. So totally fitting for what this message is here. We're also going to pull a card here from the Native Spirit Oracle and just see what other message the Creator has about your physical adventure. And I kind of feel, for some reason, it's really standing out to me that this is a young, ox, or I think it's an ox. And, it's like young at heart. Be young at heart, again, before we experience a lot of the fear and all the pain and suffering and everything we go through in life, we're so joyful. There's nothing like a child's laugh, that you just can't help but smile and almost giggle and laugh along with them, because it's so pure and it's so just real. It's real laughter, it's real joy, and that's who we really are. They still have this leftovers of their spirit being coming through, and when you connect to the higher world and you connect to that unconditional love, that's what we feel. We get to feel that again. Okay, there we go. Didn't even have to ask much further. You got the storyteller, and totally what we were talking about here is you control what story you put to any situation. And so in the physical world, no matter what's happening on the outside world, you're the one that gets to decide what it means. You're the one that has the power to make it a horror movie, the old way, or a comedy. And this is taken at about, to the realm of make your life a comedy instead of a drama, or, like I said, a scary movie. Let it be a comedy. You don't have to always buy in to the popular opinion about what something is supposed to mean, or the popular emotion that's attached to a circumstance. Instead, you can smile, you can laugh, you can, sometimes people even, you can laugh at a funeral, which people are like, that is so against the popular opinion, the popular, belief on what you should be feeling at a funeral. And I attended several funerals. One I attended was one of our coworkers had a motorcycle accident and were killed. And I went there, and there was three of my representatives were actually really, really close friends with him, and they were devastated by it, and so they, of course, were in tears after the service was over, honoring him. And I just went over, and because I can feel those who've passed away, funerals don't impact me as much, because I'm just like, they're just not here. They're in physical form, but I can feel them and talk to them and all that as well. Then, I was like, hey, how you guys doing? And they're like, well, we're hanging in there. And I'm like, that's good. And I just had this message from him that was, he of course respects and thanks you for that you're going to feel, sad that he's gone and not in your physical lives here. But he only wants it for 3 days. After that, he'd kick your ass. I'm sorry, I'm probably not supposed to say that on YouTube. Sorry. But that's what he said. And it made him laugh and it made him crack up. And that's that transformation that happens, is like, oh, but you're supposed to be serious. It's like, you know what? We deal with the the missing of their physical form here, but they're still with us every second, and they're in this place where they're giddy, and they try not to, cheat us out of our experience of feeling loss and feeling, the suffering and stuff, but they are giddy on the other side, and that's that kind of energy that comes through. So for the storyteller, it says, live larger than life. Make the most of every experience. You can choose the meaning that you give events. Find interpretations that empower you rather than diminish you. Be the storyteller and the hero of your own life. Give your personal story empowering meanings. Can't make it up. That's what we talked about in the beginning, too. The native spirit wants you to know, around the evening campfire, clan members always looked forward to the storyteller recounting events of the daily happenings of the tribe. Even the most mundane event took on a vibrancy in the expert hands of an experienced storyteller. The storyteller card chose you to remind you to be the champion of your own personal myth. Be the central character. Don't live life according to the needs and expectations of others. Don't be a bit player in your own story. I love that. Yeah, so like we were talking about, you don't have to take on all the popular opinion on what something is supposed to mean, or the popular emotion of what that is supposed to be attached to an event. You get to choose. You get to write the story of your life. I also love these cards because they come with the journey. And if it resonates with you, feel free to do this in October. It says, take an event in your life that you gave a disempowering meaning and find a way to rescript it so that the interpretation of this same story is one in which you are the hero. Transformation, right? Clearing that space, moving it from this dark into the light. All right. Can't add anything to that. It's everything we've talked about. Next, we're going to move into the swords suit, which is the element of air. And air is like your mind. So it's your beliefs, your attitudes, your mindsets, your expectations, all your thoughts. And so this will represent what the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure during the month of October. Okay, Creator for Pisces, what do you want them to know about their mental experience during the month? Okay. Yep, this makes sense here. So you've got the Nine of Swords, which, this represents, it's actually called like the nightmare card or the insomnia card. And so all these swords represent all the thoughts and beliefs, all these expectations, all those supposed tos around what things are supposed to mean, how you're supposed to feel about them, blah, 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 blah. It's all that conditioning you've had all your life that you took on because you didn't know any different, that you couldn't, that you didn't have to take on all those as your own personal beliefs. And so, because all this stuff, this is all the negativity, in fact, looks a lot like the shadow. And so that is all the stuff that, you have nightmares about, that keep you awake at night, that bring in this anxiousness and this anxiety into your life. And that is what is being brought to the forefront for you during this month to show you those things. And I kind of feel like this is attached to the storyteller card, in that these are the stuff that you can go back and revisit, and you can understand, when we talked about clearing the space, this is the space that you get to clear, and you get to reformat memories into new things. You're never going to forget the feelings you had around the situation in the beginning, because we came here to experience all that, and it's part of us. It's part of our story, and we want to keep that. So we just move it aside out of our energy as a memory, something that we'll take with us when we go back to the other side, that we can share with others, and they can go, oh, wow, experiencing that, now you understand the opposite here, right? And so this is like you're ready to let things go. You're on the verge of letting things go and converting these. The Ten of Swords right after this is usually one that shows someone face down in the sand, all the 10 swords stabbing in the back, where they're ultimately exhausted. They can't even move. And they're not dead. They're looking away from us in the card toward the rising sun, which is, that it's the endings and new beginnings, that transformation. And so this shows you that you don't have to wait until you're ultimately exhausted to look at these things. And you can start doing that now. And with this October, which is the 10th month, is about endings and new beginnings for you. So you don't have to wait to be that ultimate exhausted individual. You get to move on that now if you so wish. And we're going to pull another card here from the numerology deck, and we're just going to find out what else the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure. But yes. This is definitely about the stuff that you're clearing away, all these thoughts and these beliefs that are echoing in your head from your shadow. All right, Creator, what else would you like our Pisces to know about their mental adventure in the month of October? Nope, none of those. Okay. Okay, that's the one. Yeah, okay, surrender. Yeah, so you get to surrender, and then here's 9, like 9 plus 1 is 10. So endings and new beginnings. So you're surrendering those old stories, those old beliefs, the old way of thinking, because this is in the mind. So you're surrendering those old thoughts and those old, like I said, the old beliefs, the old things you've been told about what things are supposed to mean. And you get to be the creator and the storyteller of your own life. So this says this card indicates a need to surrender your attachment to a particular situation or preferred outcome because your inability to let go is impeding your success. Desperation blocks manifestation. Therefore, the more you struggle to attract your desire, the more you push it away. By drawing this card, you're being encouraged to detach from the situation and surrender the outcome to the divine, right? In order to attract what you want, you must give the universe space to deliver your request. This can only be achieved by getting out of the way so that everything can unfold as it should. It isn't your job to make it happen. It is simply your job to allow it to happen. When you surrender the outcome to the divine, you let the magic flow. And in order to improve your current situation, you're being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythm and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging you to let go, trust, and surrender, like the cycles of the moon, right? Make peace with your life as it is today and appreciate what you already have. When you do what brings you joy, rather than fret about the end result, divine order and timing will bring the perfect outcome your way. And the affirmation for the card is, I receive the best possible outcome when I surrender to the divine. And I really love that. When you do what brings you joy, rather than fret about outcomes, what something means, what does someone say something's supposed to mean, then divine order and timing brings you the perfect outcome your way. So again, joy, joy, joy. Love it, love it, love it. And then lastly, we move into your element, which is the cups, which is the water. And of course, this is the emotional realm that you so aptly swim and expertly swim in. You're able to go into the depths where a lot of people are not able to go as water signs. Emotions can be scary, and the depths can be scary and deep. So people are like, nope, that's okay. But you don't fear this. This is where you live, where you breathe. It's your realm. It's where you're the master, right? So, Creator, what do you want our Pisces to know about their emotional adventure during the month of October? Three of Cups. And this is a celebration, a lot like this Four of Wands, which sunflowers, joyful, joy, joy, joy. This is also joy, joy, joy. And for me, it's also the Three of Cups has a special meaning. And again, you got dolphins and dolphins. So definitely emotions of joy and celebration and fun. And then the special meaning that this has for me has to do with these represent our spiritual support on the other side. Our guardian angels and angels, our spirit guides, our loved ones who are on the other side, our ancestors, and all those beings of unconditional love and light. Of course, Creator and Spirit, are primary, but all these other beings are also this expression of unconditional love and support for us. And this is all about that feeling and that connection. And that's where you connect it. You will get messages, with the moon, especially when you connect with that energy and with your intuition. And you'll understand this being water signs. You don't necessarily get like word messages a lot. What you do is you feel messages from the other side, and then it transforms and comes into the mind, gets interpreted, but it starts off coming through the emotions. And so, definitely this is about connecting to your higher self and that whole group of beings of unconditional love and light on the other side. But I love joy, 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 celebration. Four of Wands is a celebration, because usually they'll have like a tent with the four wands, and it's usually a celebration of some kind. So definitely this celebration and joy, play. You got the dolphins here. Yeah, this is all about surrender your seriousness and go play. October is your month of play. All right, and then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Soul's Journey. And what this is going to be, of course, is any additional message on your emotional journey for the month of October. But since it's the last card for this reading, we're also going to consider it a wild card and let the Creator, of course, communicate what else they would like you to know about your month of October. And there we have it. You've got doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. And this is along with this surrender here. And it's a beautiful awareness to be able to flow with the unknown. And I love that this card came out because, when it's talking about surrendering the need to know outcomes here too, it mentioned it in here. But when you realize that you have the power to transform any situation into love and light, then your doubt goes away. Your fear of the future, your need to know the answers, your need to know the unknown future really becomes less and less and less and less important to you. Because when you connect with that power of choice, knowing that every second you get to decide what any situation means to you, you're the one that applies the story to whatever's going on. Yes, people on the outside are, like I said, those popular opinions of emotions and popular opinions on how things should be will always be coming to us, but we don't have to take that on. We don't have to regurgitate a story. We get to be creative and create our own story around what's going on. And when you realize that power, then it doesn't matter what situation comes to you. You get to turn it from a horror story into a comedy if you wish. Or if you feel like having a drama or experiencing fear, you can totally make that a story of fear. Make it an adventure. Make it an action film. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to experience, there's no wrong thing to experience. And when you realize that, when you surrender all these have-tos and shoulds and need tos and supposed tos, you can, laugh, during a horror film. You can cry during a comedy. You can do whatever you want because it's your story. And that allows you to be more comfortable with the unknown and with the mysterious future. And for doubt, it says it's impossible for the human brain to comprehend the mysteries of the universe. You are only consciously aware of the 3 dimensions for a reason, and that is to learn to love without the full awareness of your connection to spirit. Everyone has his or her own personal path to this awareness, and there's no right or wrong answers as long as your goal is to manifest the energy of love and compassion. The wisdom of the divine trickles into the physical dimension, and some of it will resonate with your soul, and some will not. And these are your signposts that guide you to your correct path. If the wisdom resonates with you and seems right, then keep it. If not, release it back to the universe, right? Surrender. Always be aware and mindful of the insights that your spirit guides and teachers put on your path. Beautiful. This is going to be an amazing, joyful month if you will allow it. You never have to do anything you don't want to do, but I highly encourage you. The energy is there for you to have this amazing, joyful, transformational month. And know that as you go through each and every second of every day, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, who does have a big sense of humor, obviously. And just know that I love you too. Have an amazing October, and I'm sure I'll talk to you very soon. You take care now.